Picture Britain in the 1970s. Grey skies, picket lines, and driveways lined with cars that promised so much yet delivered heartbreak instead. This was an era of bold British engineering, strange design choices, and factories under constant strain. Some cars became legends. Others became cautionary tales whispered at car shows for decades. Today on Britain Rewind we are counting down 10 British cars from the 1970s that owners deeply regretted buying. Strange decisions, embarrassing breakdowns, and engineering shortcuts all played their part. By the time we reach number 1, you will understand why some buyers never trusted British cars again. Let's begin with number 10. Number 10, Austin Allegro. When the Austin Allegro arrived in 1973, British buyers expected a modern successor to the much-loved 1100 and 1300 range. With engines spanning 1.0 to 1.75 litres, it seemed practical enough on paper. But that wasn't even the strangest part. The Allegro's rounded, almost bloated shape earned it the nickname the Flying Pig almost immediately. Owners soon discovered a stranger issue still. The Quartic steering wheel, square rather than round, made parking feel oddly awkward, and many drivers simply never adjusted to it. Build quality varied wildly between individual cars, and rust crept in faster than owners expected. Daily ownership meant constant trips back to the dealer, embarrassed explanations to neighbors, and jokes from friends who drove rival models. Many owners quietly traded theirs in early, hoping nobody noticed. Would you have kept driving one in front of your neighbors? The next car on our list made an even stranger styling decision. Number 9, Morris Marina. The Morris Marina launched in 1971 as Britain's answer to the Ford Cortina, offering buyers a simple, affordable family saloon with engines ranging from 1.3 to 1.8 litres. Expectations were modest but reasonable. What happened next was even worse than buyers imagined. Underneath, the Marina used outdated front suspension carried over from the Morris Minor, leading early press cars to display almost comical understeer that pushed the front end wide through bends, embarrassing British Leyland in front of the motoring press before quiet revisions were rushed through. Worse for everyday owners was the bodywork itself, which rusted from the sills and wheel arches inward within just a few short years, spreading quietly until floor pans gave way beneath their feet. Resale values collapsed quickly, leaving many feeling embarrassed about their purchase. Some owners never fully trusted the car again. Keep that in mind, because another car later on made nearly the same rust mistake. Number 8, Austin Maxi. Introduced in 1969 but truly defining the early 1970s, the Austin Maxi promised something genuinely innovative, a 5-door hatchback layout years ahead of its rivals, paired with a 5-speed gearbox and engines around 1.5 to 1.75 litres. Buyers expected practicality and modern flexibility. But that wasn't even the strangest part. The cable-operated gearbox became notorious for vague, rubbery shifts that frustrated drivers daily, often requiring a firm hand and a hopeful guess to find the right gear. Many owners grew embarrassed demonstrating it to passengers. Beyond the gearbox, the engine and transmission shared a single oil supply, an unusual cogs in the sump design that left some owners facing leaks and worried trips to the garage. Despite genuinely clever packaging, the ownership experience felt undermined by constant mechanical compromise. Would you have persevered or traded it in early? The next entry surprised owners in a completely different way. Number 7, Hillman Avenger. Hillman launched the Avenger in 1970, positioning it as a stylish rival to the Cortina and Escort, with engines between 1.2 and 1.6 litres and an attractive, slightly American-influenced design. Early buyers felt genuinely optimistic. The real disaster was still ahead, though it took a few years to surface. To save weight, the factory had used electrolyzed paint on the floors instead of proper underseal, and rust-attacked wheel arches, sills, and door bottoms with alarming speed, especially during damp British winters. Owners watched bubbling paint spread within 18 months of driving the car off the forecourt. Insurance inspections grew increasingly tense as corrosion spread beneath fresh paintwork, and many owners faced expensive bodywork repairs just to pass routine checks. What started as pride in a smart-looking saloon turned into frustration and constant garage visits. Can you imagine watching your new car rust before your eyes? The car at number 6 brought an entirely different kind of disappointment. Number 6, Triumph Stag. The Triumph Stag debuted in 1970 as a glamorous V8 convertible Grand Tourer, complete with a 3.0-litre engine designed to rival Mercedes and other European competitors. Buyers felt they had purchased genuine British luxury and performance combined. You might think the styling was the biggest risk here, but it wasn't. The unique V8 engine suffered from chronic overheating caused by design flaws in the cooling system, often warping cylinder heads and leading to costly head gasket failures. Many owners experienced this within the first year of ownership. Breakdown recovery became an unwelcome routine, with steam rising from the bonnet during what should have been relaxing summer drives. Specialist garages charged heavily for repairs, and resale confidence suffered badly. Despite genuine elegance, the Stag's reputation became defined by reliability anxiety rather than glamour. We are only getting started, because the surprises ahead grow even stranger. Number 5. Austin 1300 GT. By 1969, the Austin 1300 GT promised sporty performance within Britain's popular AD016 range, fitted with a twin-carburetor 1.3-litre engine for buyers wanting extra excitement from a practical family shape. Expectations leaned toward lively, engaging driving. What happened to one owner was almost unbelievable. Rear subframe corrosion became a serious structural concern, with rust silently weakening the very mounting points that held the suspension in place. In the worst cases, the corroded subframe could drop at the front, threatening to tear away from the body entirely, often discovered only during routine servicing. Knocking noises over bumps, vague steering feel, and uneven tire wear left drivers confused and concerned about safety. Garages increasingly flagged structural rust as a serious repair priority rather than a cosmetic issue. Confidence in the car's long-term durability faded quickly among everyday owners. Number 4. Vauxhall Viva HC. The Vauxhall Viva HC, launched in 1970, offered straightforward family motoring with engines ranging from 1.2 to 1.8 litres and a reputation for simplicity, built tough at Vauxhall's own Millbrook proving ground. Buyers expected dependable, unremarkable transport. And this is where things became embarrassing for quite a few owners. Despite the marketing claims of thicker steel, the Viva proved just as vulnerable to rust as its rivals, with corrosion creeping through the front wings, inner sills, and floor pan within a handful of British winters. Bubbling paint around the A-pillars became an unwelcome, familiar sight on driveways nationwide. Owners found themselves explaining flaking arches and crumbling wings to neighbors, watching a once smart family saloon visibly deteriorate before their eyes. What should have been a sensible, low-drama family car instead became a source of quiet frustration and constant garage visits. Tell us if you remember seeing one struggling with rust on a driveway. The next entry brought a far more public embarrassment. Number 3. Reliant Robin. Launched in 1973, the Reliant Robin offered an affordable three-wheeled alternative to conventional cars, powered by a modest 748cc engine that later grew to 848cc, and requiring no full car license under certain rules of the era. Buyers expected economical, no-fuss motoring. But that wasn't even the strangest part of owning one. The single front-wheel layout meant a narrower track and higher center of gravity than a normal car, so cornering with too much enthusiasm could unsettle the Robin's balance in a way four-wheeled rivals simply didn't suffer from. Public perception turned the Robin into a target for jokes, with strangers pointing and laughing at junctions and roundabouts. Owners often felt embarrassed rather than practical, despite genuine fuel savings. Would you have handled the stairs, or avoided driving it in town altogether? The next car somehow managed to be even more controversial. Number 2. Austin Princess. Introduced in 1975, the Austin Princess arrived with bold wedge-shaped styling and engine spanning 1.8 to 2.2 litres, positioned as a comfortable executive alternative to Ford and Vauxhall rivals. Buyers expected genuine prestige. The biggest shock, however, was still ahead. Despite the striking design, the Princess never offered a hatchback boot, an odd omission that frustrated practical-minded buyers expecting modern flexibility from such an ambitious shape. The innovative hydrogas suspension also developed a habit of leaking, leaving one corner of the car sagging lower than the rest. Owners found themselves explaining the missing hatchback to confused friends and family, while suspension repairs drained wallets faster than anticipated. The car looked thoroughly modern yet behaved in frustratingly old-fashioned ways. Many buyers felt genuinely misled by appearances alone. If you think this was disappointing, wait until you see what claims our number 1 spot. Number 1. Triumph TR7. Launched in 1975, the Triumph TR7 promised a bold, wedge-shaped future for British sports cars, fitted with a 2.0-litre engine and styling unlike anything the brand had produced before. Enthusiasts expected genuine excitement and sporting heritage continued. This is where things became truly embarrassing. Build quality suffered dramatically during a turbulent production period marked by strikes at the Speak factory, resulting in doors that never quite fit their openings, panel gaps, and electrical faults that left headlights refusing to work in the rain. Rumors of unreliable build standards spread quickly among enthusiasts, damaging confidence in what should have been a flagship sports car. Owners who once felt proud showing off their TR7 grew increasingly embarrassed explaining its latest fault. What should have symbolized British sports car confidence instead became its most regretted symbol. From rusting sills to overheating engines, square steering wheels to missing hatchbacks, 1970s Britain produced cars filled with ambition, innovation, and occasionally baffling decisions. These vehicles remind us that bold engineering doesn't always guarantee happy ownership, yet they remain unforgettable chapters in British automotive history. Which of these 10 surprised you the most, and did your family ever own one of these cars? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more forgotten stories from Britain's motoring past. Until next time, this has been Britain Rewind, remembering the cars Britain almost forgot.